Hopefully I don't have a hotkey here that's killing the fucking streams. That would be really terrible.
Are you?
Yes. All right. We have returned. It looks like YouTube just killed my last stream. I told you people, I bet you it's that DAZN shit. They do not like you to play anything from DAZN. But that's a problem because I have some clips that are from DAZN. I did it the last time. Maybe I needed to show this a little bit more. Give me 1 second. Sorry about this, people. Hey, DAZN, this is called copyright law. You know that? I have the right to do this. All right? It's for educational reasons. This is an educational video. Okay? It's copyright law. 1976. You see it here? Leave me alone. All right, you're watching School. This is beterbiev versus versus bivol. All right, since they killed my last stream, I'm going to be taking that one down. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be showing the little clips I did a second ago. I'm going to have to do it because the other video is going to be gone. All right. So I pointed this out in the last feed. Tyson Fury, just like a lot of these guys, a lot of these fighters who've been, have devastating losses where they get completely schooled. They make up lies and they say that the guy that completely schooled them didn't actually school them. They weren't even the hardest fight ever. Usyk could have knocked out Tyson Fury's eyeballs with a right hand and then beat the shit out of him for another 5 rounds. And Fury would have said, oh, well, that was not the hardest fight of my career. The hardest fight of my career was Wilder. What do you mean? The guy that you beat 3 times? I mean, the first fight was questionable. You know that? There's a case to be made that Wilder might have actually won the first fight. No joke. Shows you how good Fury is. But yeah, Fury over here lying. He knows this guy's better than him and he beat his ass. All right. All right, and then over here we got this information. People actually think bivol people are picking bivol. This is a little survey that was done today. In DAZN, look at that, 3,195 votes, and most of those votes were for bivol. This is one of the reasons I'm making this video. All right. So we got a clip here of bivol beating up Canelo Alvarez, and people are saying this is the reason why he's going to beat Arthur Beterbiev, which is kind of weird because, I mean, look, Canelo's a tiny little guy. Like, how do you compare these two guys? Like, I've heard these commentators, and they try to act like Canelo's some kind of big beast. Come on, bro. You can't even compare these two guys. You can't compare Beterbiev to Canelo Alvarez. That's like comparing Paulie Malignaggi to Miguel Cotto. It's a weird thing to do. All right, let's watch this clip. Hopefully this doesn't kill this fucking thing, because maybe this is the video that got the thing pulled in an instant. Let's see this. All right, so there you go. You got yourself a 168 pounder versus a light heavyweight there. And he's trying to say, well, this moment right here just shows how he's going to beat Beterbiev. But what they're not saying is that this is nothing. You know, Beterbiev would love for Bivol to do this because he would just slip and throw that right hand right over this push. That's not even a jab. That's a push. It's sort of like a step back and push. You know, it knocks Canelo out of alignment. It kind of froze Canelo's feet. It's almost a semi-stiff arm. He's out of range, you know, because, you know, it's Canelo. He's got shorter arms. He's a smaller guy. Canelo's footwork isn't very good. As much as people think he's like the greatest thing since sliced gingers. Yeah, I know it's cheesy. But, you know, he don't have the best footwork. And he's not the best at even like look at this. He's completely out of range. Canelo's out of range because his footwork is slow. Why would you compare this guy who's kind of fleet-footed to a guy who has no footwork at all? Right? All right, we get it. I'm not going to keep showing this because they're just going to kill the feed again. I guess the DAZN doesn't like you advertising any of their stuff. It's true, people. He's a super freak. And yeah, so people are saying that Bivol is like, the best boxer ever, even though when he fought Joe Smith was making glaring mistakes for 12 straight rounds. And he didn't make him pay for it, people. He almost got knocked out later in the fight. Bivol was almost knocked out. While beterbiev made Joe Smith pay for his mistakes within seconds into the fight. Instant. He made him pay right away. All right. I'm gonna check and see if the stream is still up, because I just showed Canelo. Maybe they'll kill it again. Is it up, Bob? All right, so it's still up. The Super Freak feed is still up. The greatest channel known to man, people. Remember to subscribe and hit that like button. Do it, because we love you. All right, I heard it helps the channel. All right, so we're gonna watch some stuff. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get my files. Okay, where the heck are my files, Bob? You know what would probably happen, I bet? Hopefully it isn't this program that fucked up and killed my last feed. All right. We're going to get our files. I compiled a bunch of stuff to a lot of different stuff here to show. Okay. Okay. All right, so here we got a little information just on a side note. One more, probably the last side note of this whole stream. This is Bivol talking about the Canelo Alvarez fight that no one should really want to happen. It's a pointless fight. Most likely going to be some kind of corruption going on. Probably a sale of titles, my guess. Don't want it. I don't want it. Okay, we're gonna watch some of this right now.
Hi everyone, we are joined by light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol, who's getting ready for the undisputed light heavyweight title fight against Artur Beterbiev, October 12th in Saudi Arabia. This fight's going to be on ESPN Plus. Dmitry, this is the fight you've been wanting for the longest time. It's finally here after long negotiations, delays, postponements. You're finally here. How does it feel to have this moment be within arm's reach now?
I feel amazing myself. I feel like just 10 days, less than 10 days, and I will have the most important fight in my life.
What makes Artur Beterbiev so dangerous?
You should see on his record. This is proof that he's one of the dangerous opponent, and his belts and his skills. He's a really good fighter, not just good puncher. He's a really smart fighter.
So you see, he knows what he's dealing with a lot more than the media does and a lot of these fans. He knows this guy. The way they're building up Beterbiev is as if he's just a puncher. Like he's just like a wild man. He can't box. Like I said, he made Joe Smith pay for his mistakes immediately. Where Bivol didn't. Bivol went the full 12 rounds and then allowed this guy that was making glaring mistakes to almost knock him out. So how could you say that Bivol is a superior boxer to Beterbiev when he never was hurt by Joe Smith and he completely dismantled him for making the same mistake over and over again? I'm going to show you that, some little clips. Hopefully I can get away with it showing you this.
How do you prepare for power?
I just need to be myself. You cannot prepare to get punches, you know? You cannot. You just can prepare yourself to not get punched. And when you are on your preparation, you are trying to improve your skills. What you have good inside of you, you should improve it.
With all of the injuries that he's had, at the age of 39, do you think he's a damaged fighter?
He's a really dangerous fighter for everybody. In his age, he has still good conditioning. He has good power. He has good experience, boxing IQ, and he has 3 belts.
How has the preparation for Beterbiev been different than the biggest fight of your career to date against Canelo? How do you prepare for these big fights?
Uh, uh, First of all, the location. Location was different. Second, the most important on the preparation is your sparring partners.
All right, so a lot of people, they just keep hanging their hat on this fucking Canelo fight, people. That Canelo fight in no way is getting him ready for this fight. You know, not at all. There's nothing about Canelo that's going to prepare him for a guy that stalks you like this and can hurt you like this. Also, a guy who makes you pay immediately. You know, Bivol was throwing all barrages of punches. If Canelo was a more stronger fighter with the reach, he might have maybe caught Bivol, but he didn't have the reach. He didn't have any reach, and he didn't have the kind of instincts. And basically, probably didn't even have the skills that this guy has. That Canelo was punching arms in that Bivol fight. He looked terrible. Okay? I'm going to see what else I got here. We got a lot of bullshit that's been said before this fight. We got Roy Jones over here. Just saying a bunch of shit. It's going back to this whole idea of that if you could beat Canelo the way that Bivol did, then somehow you're going to beat Beterbiev. You know?
I do want to get your perspective on Bivol and Beterbiev. It's a very interesting fight. Both are undefeated. Beterbiev, the only guy left at 100% knockout ratio. Every person who stepped in the ring with him, he's stopped. Bivol, though, master boxer, is gonna, I would think, use his speed, his footwork. But what's the breakdown, the synopsis from Roy in that fight, man? Because a lot of people are going back and forth. They don't know who to pick.
Yeah, my synopsis is this: Beterbiev is a great puncher, but he's been down a few times.
This guy fucking burping over here. You see this? What a pig. This guy, did you hear this, Bob? Roy Jones over here burping.
What does that tell me?
This has got to be one of the dumbest breakdowns ever.
Put up the Dana White.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, Bob says I should put the clip that that's fucking illegal. Roy Jones over here making some really dumb points. I'm going to comment to them in a couple of seconds.
A lot of people say it was balance. People say it was this. People say it was that. And he's been down a few times. What does that tell me? A lot of people say it was balance. People say it was this. People say it was that. In my humble opinion, if you've been down 2 or 3 times already, being the puncher that you are, I mean, either when you're punching, you leave yourself in a bad position and people are catching you, or you don't take as good a punch as you throw. Both would be a mistake fighting Bivol because he stays fundamentally sound with his feet and he stays fundamentally sound with his hands.
Well, if that's so true, then why is it that Joe Smith never hurt Beterbiev once, but he almost knocked Bivol out? Also, another funny thing about what he's saying is he's trying to make it like if you get knocked down, somehow you're not a great fighter, right? Or Bivol's better because he's never been knocked down. Well, I mean, one thing that could tells me is that maybe Bivol hasn't been through everything. Maybe the test of a true champion is overcoming things like being dropped, right? That's may actually be a good thing that he got dropped. It might have made him stronger psychologically. So if he was to get dropped in the better Bivol fight, he would say, well, you know, I've been here before and I knocked the guy out, right? So it makes him stronger psychologically. Bivol's never been there, right? What happens when Bivol gets knocked down? How does he get up? Has he ever dealt with that? Right? Because this is part of what makes a champion is going through these kinds of things like being knocked down or even taking losses sometimes, right? This whole idea of perfection, it's your perfection, so somehow you're better because you haven't gone through these things. Again, sometimes that's not a good thing. This might actually make Beterbiev the stronger fighter in another way, outside of, you know, the fact that he makes guys pay immediately. He's maybe a better, more reactive fighter who makes you pay right away. And he also might actually be the more psychologically strong fighter. We're seeing this at these press events. Bivol, to me, looks scared. He looks, in a way, he looks very nervous. When you look at Beterbiev, he looks very confident. He looks almost like Manny Pacquiao. He's smiling. He looks like Master Shredder. Or Splinter, not Shredder. He kind of looks like Master Splinter. Gotta say it, people. And he's smiling the whole time. you know, when I look at Bivol, he looks like he's drinking alcohol, or he's not sleeping. Like this fight is keeping him up, or whatever's going on in his life. He looks like he's not getting enough sleep. He looks strung out to me, and he looks kind of nervous.
A very disciplined fighter. He's always going to be in shape, and he's always going to be Dimitri Bivol. So if you do anything out of the ordinary, such as throw too hard to get yourself off
such as in quotations.
balance.
Hey Bob, does that make sense to you? Such as in quotations.
No.
All right.
Or don't take a punch.
Oi.
As well as you throw a punch, you're gonna lose to Bivol. If you can go
Wait, let's hear that again.
earlier or give me as you throw a punch, you're gonna lose to Bivol. Such as throw too hard to get yourself off balance, or don't take a punch as well as you throw a punch.
Why do you say oi? Oi, oi.
You're gonna lose to Bivol. If you can go.
All right, got some comments in the comment section. I'm going to open that up while we watch this guy have Roy Jones have more of his brilliant hot takes. In 1 second. 1 second, please. Sorry, people. Why is the city so low today? It really scares me that there's nothing happening in the city. All right. All right, so we got some comments here. I'm going to read the comments. We got King Arthur Boxing, beterbiev, has the better resume, more impressive wins. Yes. Yes. All right. Let's see this. We got another comment here. All right. Their skills are on the same level, just the styles are different. And the power, of course, but beterbiev gets... Oh, wait. Why did that message... Oh, beterbiev gets better. Sorry, people. I don't know why this just took out the end of that. Better and better. I think beterbiev is a little sharper than Bivol. I think he's more ballsy. He punches harder. His foot placement, I think, is better. I mean, that's why better's in his name, right? Yeah, sorry. He's better. No, Bivol's name is Bivol, right? Not better. Better is whatever. Better is better than Bivol, yeah. So he's better at getting his foot placement, beterbiev, to set his feet and fire, you know? His timing's real good. He sets traps well. He walks guys onto shots immediately and then fires with them. You punch. He's less reluctant to punch with you. Like I said, he's more ballsy. Not only is he more ballsy, but he sets his shots up better. Like the way his range, the way he changes the angle on the shot. So if a guy's in a certain angle of him, he knows how to change how far he's going to put this shot out in order to generate more strength. His technique is better. His punch technique is better. And again, he sees the openings quicker and makes the guys pay for them quicker. He knows when to let the bomb out and when to hit you at 50%, 20%, 15%. And people, I'm going to show you. Hopefully they don't kill the stream, but I'm going to show you. All right, what is this? Okay, styles are just different, my guy. Why is it? I hate that this keeps doing this. This keeps readjusting the freaking comments. Styles are just different, my guy. Why is not okay for the greatest pure athlete boxer in modern time to have an opinion that anger is not a good look. I believe Roy would beat both of them. And then he says, there's another comment. Let me see this. Okay. King Arthur Boxing, which of beterbiev opponents are better boxers and punchers than Canelo Alvarez? Are you okay? Where I don't understand why people keep bringing up Canelo Alvarez. Like, bro, Canelo Alvarez isn't even a light heavyweight. Like, look, Bivol's a light heavyweight, right? A natural light heavyweight. And he's got better footwork and hand speed than Canelo Alvarez. What does that tell you about Canelo Alvarez's natural attributes, right? He's naturally not gifted. He's a muscular guy at the lower weights who can't punch. As much as people think he can punch, he can't. Guys who can punch don't go 12 rounds with an old Shea Mosley, with an old Miguel Cotto, with the little Josecito Lopez, 6 rounds with glass chin Amir Khan. You know, There's so many different things that so many times this guy has proved he's not a puncher, and his footwork is very poor. Canelo has very poor footwork, and when he went up in weight, it was even worse. So I don't understand how people I keep hearing this over and over again. People just keep saying, "Well, he beat Canelo. Well, he beat Canelo." It's like, bro, who cares? Beterbiev would blow Canelo out in the first minute of the first round. That's a nothing fight for that guy. That guy would murder Canelo. He would literally put Canelo Alvarez in the ER with the first punch of the fight, probably. He'd clonk him in the head, and you see Canelo fall over. That guy, he ain't on that level.
Go out there and smash people early or give him to an exchange early and knock him out. That's not out of the picture because we talking about a guy with a 100%.
Well, look, what people aren't understanding is this. Roy Jones thinks this guy, Beterbiev, has to walk in there and beat the shit out of this guy. People don't understand that Beterbiev can beat Bivol moving back on the back foot. He could actually walk Bivol into punches. People are going to be shocked when they see this. He could take a step back because he's very good at walking guys onto shots. And Bivol will be no different. It's going to have to be, Bivol is going to have to be very intelligent not to fall into these traps. Because Beterbiev, he can beat you on the front foot and he can take a step back and clonk you. This is what he did with Joe Smith. And he did it to his counterpunching was far better than Bivol's to the same opponent. I'm going to show it later.
Our ratio. You understand me? So anything can happen. Me, however, I feel like in 10-ounce gloves, nobody wants to truly be hit by a decent puncher, right? Bivol punched hard enough to keep Canelo in check.
You see, this is a ridiculous thing. That's just ridiculous what he's saying. He kept Canelo in check. Who the fuck is Canelo? Wait, is that the guy that had that suspect fight versus Kovalev? Right? The guy that Kovalev forgot how to throw hard punches? Oh, whoa, he threw punches that kept Canelo in check. It's like, no, he didn't. Canelo was walking forward almost the whole fucking fight. The thing that took it out of him was the fact that he gassed out. That's what happened. Canelo gassed out. Because the larger man just ate up all his fucking little tic-tac punches. He was eating them like they were nothing. And I think Bivol took it easy on that guy. I think he could have blown Canelo out of there. But if we were going to believe that he was fighting, he wasn't taking it easy on him, that doesn't say anything good about Bivol. Because he was, he's peppering Canelo. He can't even drop him once. He's the bigger man.
Right. Canelo's been one of the pound for pound best for a long time now. Right.
Yeah, pound for pound best. What are you even talking about? When he was at 154, he was 174 pounds. He was 174 pounds at 154. He was a weight bully. And then he went to 160 and he was still a fucking weight bully. He was beating up on he's fighting. Wait, actually, Triple G beat him twice. And he was bigger than Triple G. He made Triple G look small. He came in there with that big-ass giant head, watermelon head of his. Big, huge, giant muscles. His bone mass was bigger. He was bigger than Triple G. And he still couldn't even knock the guy down once. And then now, at 168, Canelo's actually finally gotten probably at his natural weight. Right? Possibly. He might actually be a pillow-fisted light heavyweight. We don't know. I think he might actually be a pillow-fisted light heavyweight. The guy was a weight bully for a long, long time, people. A long time. And now he's actually finally fighting guys. When he goes to light heavyweight, he's fighting guys probably his own size. I would say that. But power-wise, he ain't nowhere near those guys. Those guys are way more powerful than him. They punch harder. They move better. Because Canelo never been a good mover, ever. And going up in weight, he just gets worse and worse. But this whole thing of, he's able to keep the guy away with Canelo. He keeping Canelo. How, dude, do you want to keep Canelo away or you throw a fucking jab? The thing is that none of these guys fight him correctly. They don't throw straight punches. They just run away the whole fight. They just fucking run away. Well, Bivol's one of the first guys outside of Triple G that actually, sort of touched him up. The Kovalev could have knocked Canelo out very easily. And that's a natural light heavyweight, right? A real light heavyweight who toyed with Canelo for the entire fight and then just, took a little, laid down on the ground, let's say. He just laid down for him.
So what make me think?
I'm just saying, really, the reality is that Canelo is not a light heavyweight, and he's not a light heavyweight. And to keep hanging your hat on that Canelo win is the dumbest fucking thing ever. And for anybody to factor that into the reason why this guy will beat Beterbiev is just ridiculous. It's laughable.
Does not punch hard enough to either catch Arthur when he's either off balance or just catch him, period, and hurt him as well. So in a sense, it's like it's a you pick 'em, but it's who hits who first.
Yeah, beterbiev. When beterbiev hits Bivol, it's over. If he hits this guy, it's flush, and he's going to. No doubt about it, he's going to. Bivol's never fought a guy like this before. He's never fought a man like this, ever. A guy that punches like a truck and can actually box and may possibly box better than Bivol. The reason why people think Bivol is so great, again, is the Canelo fight. I mean, yeah, he's good. He's slippery. I mean, he's a dynamic puncher. He's got some flow to his combinations. People really like that, and I like Bivol, but he's not on this guy's level. He's not, and it would not shock me if this guy blows Bivol out in 2 rounds, because what I saw in that Joe Smith fight is very worrying. If that was beterbiev in that ring, Bivol would be he would be out. He'd be done real fast. And Bivol better be on his P's and Q's, because this guy, he can walk you onto punches. And when he hits you one good time, and if Bivol's legs go out or slightly out, you ain't going to see this jump in and out shit, right? And he's going to need to put some real heavy shots in this guy, people, because you can't be peppering this motherfucker with, 6, 7, 8 punch combinations. You're opening yourself up to being knocked out. And you can't throw 6 punch combinations when your legs aren't under you. So what is Bivol going to do if that happens? Which is very likely to happen. We're talking about a guy with the 100% KO percentage. I'll show you. For anybody who's new here, it's in there, people. Let's circle it. I'll circle it for you. Right here. KO, 100% KO percentage. Wow, that's a terrible arrow. Let me try it again. You guys see it. You see it's right over here. 100. A fucking 100. Bivol, 52.17%. That's a big deal, people. That's a big effing deal.
Who can withstand who's punch? If Bivol can take Arthur's punch, Arthur gonna have problems. If Arthur can take Bivol's punch, Bivol had to work for a long time. But if Bivol can't take Arthur's punch, that 100% knockout ratio gonna stay. Me personally,
well, I don't get it. What do you disagree with? What do you disagree with, David? David. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Beterbiev down twice in fights. How many times? Okay, Bivol, I think you mean. It doesn't matter. I've already explained that. Actually, it can be a good thing to go down in fights. It kind of builds character. It builds strength. The test of a champion is not just perfection. Making mistakes is part of being a champion, and actually many times will make you stronger. You know how the old saying, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger? As a fighter, that's a real thing. Because Bivol, what's Bivol going to do when he gets dropped and he's standing next to a beast? Bivol, Beterbiev's overcome that already. He's overcome it more than once. That's the test of a champion, to overcome things. Now, what Roy Jones is saying here, that's why I don't agree with him at all. And I mean, this is Roy Jones, a guy who came off of being knocked out. I think he was knocked out multiple times. So, I mean, what are you going to say? You're going to say that he wasn't a great fighter because he got knocked out? I think getting knocked out's a lot worse than being knocked down, right?
I think Bivol's feet are going to be the key. I think his feet are going to keep him out of the wrong exchanges with Arthur. And I think his feet are also going to be what make Arthur pay when Arthur misses with big shots.
All right, I don't know how long this interview, I'm going to have to jump to the next clip. Sorry, I'm making this go on way longer than it should. Yes, his feet are going to help him. Yes, they will. To a point, probably.
Because I know you're like a boxing historian, Roy. Like, historically, does it usually go the side of the guy that has the quicker feet, the better feet, the quicker hands when they go against a power puncher like that?
Sugar Ray Leonard, Tamara.
It was close. It was close.
Yeah, Ray Leonard was running like a bitch. He was running around like a bum in that fight, running all over the place, not even throwing punches. Dude, is that really what we want from boxing? Guys just running their asses off?
That first one. But he ended up winning.
I mean, look, people. Bivol doesn't have it like Ray Leonard did. If he does what Ray Leonard did in that fight and he can't knock beterbiev out, he's losing on the points. He's losing on the cards. Ray Leonard was running his ass off in that fight, not even throwing punches.
Yeah. You think it's very, very similar style-wise to that?
Not like that. It's different because these guys from the Eastern Bloc are different than what we are on this side of the world. So style-wise, it's a little bit different because they both are very.
Thanks a lot, man.
They both understand and know the game backwards and forth. They both are very good at what they do. So it's a little bit different. These guys are not as swaggy as Sugar Ray Leonard and Tammy Hearns were, but they're a lot more disciplined in their skill than Sugar Ray Leonard and Tammy Hearns.
There's nothing wrong with disagreeing with anyone, man. It's a debate. I mean, you could disagree with me. You could, it's fine. That's cool. Thanks a lot for coming over here. All right, look, I'm turning on the wrong effing video over here.
So it's a different type of a chess match.
I wonder if Bivol's going to find himself in a "you're blowing it, son" moment.
You won't find yourself in that moment because
I don't
if you're
think
blowing it, if you go blowing it, it's gonna be blowed already with Arthur. You don't get a chance to be blowing it.
Roy Jones, a very different fighter from these guys. He said was very explosive with his footwork, and he had power. There's a big difference. Ray Leonard. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if Bivol could beat Ray Leonard. And I think beterbiev would also have issues just because Ray Leonard's just so fast. And he actually is very fast on his feet. I mean, if you caught him, you knock him the fuck out. It's interesting. It would be an interesting fight, that's for damn sure.
Sleep. So if you blowing it, it's going to be blowed by the time they get to you there.
Yeah, very true. It's not going to take a lot of punches from him.
Arthur can punch. You understand me? If they got to tell you, you blowing it with Arthur, you probably already blew it because he hits too hard for that.
I know
Exactly. I could watch this whole thing, but I'm not gonna. I agree 100% with what he just said there. I said it in the last stream. He's got to be perfect, people. Bivol's got to be perfect. This is the kind of guy that can hit you one time and end the fight. And in the last stream, I'm not saying that beterbiev just hits you once and you're knocked to clean out. No, he knocks you out of your senses. Remember Joe Smith? Joe Smith's getting hit with these right hands around the guard, and you could tell he was gone. He was still standing, but he wasn't there anymore. He wasn't really there anymore. All right, so we're gonna go and we're gonna watch a couple more, some more pieces of the road to this fight. This is obviously beterbiev versus Bivol. This is happening on October 12th. Just letting people know who didn't know about this fight. Some people live under a rock. It's not that weird. You get busy. You get busy, people. Sometimes you're busy. You don't know what's going on in the sport.
Let's talk about Bivol's jab.
This is the video I already showed. This is the Canelo Alvarez. I'm not going to show it again, but I'll show you 2 seconds of it because I was kind of afraid because the zone, my stream had went down randomly. Show you again. So it's a tiny little clip you guys already saw, but I'll show you again because this guy over here is calling this a jab. This is not a jab, people. This is a probe. That's not a jab. That's just a punch. That's a shot to kind of distract, to set up the right hand. And he's not putting anything on the shot. Really, the right hand is the biggest shot here. But it's dangerous. This is dangerous. He's really not going to do this versus beterbiev. Not very much. I don't think you're really going to see this. Let's zoom it in. All right, so I'm going to go back slightly. I'm going to break this down slightly. That's a probe, people. This guy's saying jab. There's a big difference.
About Bivol's jab.
There's some snap. There's a little bit more of a jab, but I would say it's not really a jab. There's no weight on it.
Talk about how great he is at using it.
There's no jabs here, really. He's just doing all this to set up that right hand. And that's a big problem with beterbiev because beterbiev is like a master of hitting you when you throw a lazy jab. These shots can possibly get him hurt bad versus beterbiev. If he sees him doing this, he's going to try to throw a right hand over that.
About Bivol's
it's a nice little snappy thing, but you could slip that.
Jab. We often talk about how great he
Here goes, it's a touch.
Is at using it offensively.
It's another multiple touches. That's all touch. That's all probing. That's all to set up that right hand. And so what beterbiev does, he puts up his left hand, block the right hand, come in with the straight right hand or right hook. He could punch with this guy and hurt him. He's not going to do, if he's smart, he will not do this versus beterbiev.
To start his flurries.
This will not, this is a,
But there's
you know, this is a dead Canelo. Two Canelo's, you know, he's a gassed, you know, he gassed early in this fight. But that's definitely not something you want to use on beterbiev. But this is one of the things people are looking at this fight, and this is the fight that's making them think that, oh, well, he's just going to, I mean, look at the Canelo fight. I'm like, what? What? One moment, please. I'm going to find some more. I got some more clips here. I compiled a lot of stuff, people. All right, I got Sentient Flapjack over here. This channel usually does a fight companion and play-by-play. Yes, we're going to be doing a live play-by-play for the beterbiev versus Arthur Beterbiev. We will be doing that on this channel if you guys want to join us. Live play-by-play. We do it for all the biggest fights. Me and Bob. Hopefully Bob's free, and then we'll do it. You can guys, you can jump in the panel. We score the fights as well. We score them live. We have scorecards, all that community scorecards. All right, let me lower this a little bit. All right, I'm gonna see what else I got a lot of shit here, people. Okay.
Impressive winning.
All right, so we're gonna watch some more predictions of the fight, and then later on we're gonna go into the into a little bit of play-by-play. This fight's gonna be exciting. Yeah, she has problems, too. She has problems. We got Chris Algieri here.
It's a very tough guy. Then you got Beterbiev, who has super underrated boxing skills, man. He is a great position. He's a position.
Why is it that not Tim Bradley, Chris Algieri's like, he on that show, he's probably the most like intelligent guy. Like he breaks down all these fights. Like I usually always agree with him, but most of these guys talk over him. It's crazy. He's always got the fight right. Like, look, everyone's saying that this guy's just he's just a wild man puncher. And Chris Algieri points out, you know, his boxing skills.
That the overview? Do you look a little deeper than that? Is it the boxer in bivol versus the puncher in Beterbiev? How do you see it?
Yeah, I think from a bird's eye view, it is that. It's the boxer versus puncher, the boxer.
Yeah, basically he's basically saying like people who don't know the fucking sport. Let's hear this guy again. You know, this guy is like, I think like a stand-up comedian. I think that guy is. The guy on the left. He was like, I think he used to be on Bellator. He was like their answer to Joe Rogan. And he don't know much. But I think he used to be on Bellator.
The fight fans are into it, but also the casual fan can get
casual fans. He's a casual. This guy's a casual as well.
Casual fan better get into a fight like this. They get behind all the other crap that nobody wants to watch, that nobody should watch. They better get into this. This is the fight to get behind if you're a casual. Dynamite, skills, stick-to-itiveness as far as game planning.
Why is his eyes open so wide all the time? He's a creepy looking guy, isn't he? Is he like high on coke all the time?
You're not going to break the other guy mentally that easily, and guaranteed action. These guys have been dominant fighters.
When you look at it, Chris, as Paulie just said, boxer versus puncher, is that, and I know it's a little bit of a stereotype here, but is that the overview? Do you look a little deeper than that? Is it the boxer in bivol versus the puncher in Beterbiev? How do you see it?
Yeah, I think from a bird's eye view, it is that. It's the boxer versus puncher, the boxer obviously being bivol, the boxer being bivol, the puncher being Beterbiev. But if you look closer, especially if you have a trained eye, you realize that both these guys do both things well. Bivol has enough power that he gets respect. He's got a really sharp right hand. He can still hurt you. He showed that in his last fight. We actually came forward all night long. That was an impressive win against a very tough guy. Then you got Beterbiev, who has super underrated boxing skills, man. He is a great position. He's a position artist. He uses that jab, gets himself in position, has that great balance, able to deliver his power. A lot of interesting aspects that make this fight really, really interesting. Another thing, man, they're both undefeated. That was one of the things that you didn't mention, Paul. We got two undefeated guys. And see all those belts up there? Can you see behind me?
That's all of them. Yeah.
That's all the belts, guys. This is a true, undisputed unification fight between two undefeated guys.
Drill?
And, I mean, the style match, everything. I'm overjoyed by this actually being here.
Yeah, when you look at it, Teddy.
Sorry, people, but Bob was asking me a question. I like his breakdowns. He knows what he's talking about. He's saying that Beterbiev has the boxing skills, and he does. And what we're gonna see in this fight is we might actually see Bivol fighting possibly the greatest boxer he's ever fought.
You know, you understand boxing history.
Not only the hardest puncher he's ever fought, but the best boxer.
So few do. When you look at the great light heavyweights and the great light heavyweight matchups of all time, is this one of them?
Hey, you think about what do you think about? I guess you can think about Dwight Kwawi, and you know, that would be more closer to the modern era than I could go back to late eras. But yeah, this is special. I mean, the two champs said it right. This is look. Back in the day when the promoters used to come up with the titles for the promotion, for the poster, the tag that they would put on it. For this one, it's been used before, but it fits perfectly. And when I say it, I know it's going to go contrary to what Chris just touched on. And Chris is right. His skills are underrated. But this would be will versus skill. That's how most people would see this. Will versus the will of Beterbiev, the monster Beterbiev, versus the skill, the surgeon, the scientist, the guy who takes you apart piece by piece.
So I don't agree with him at all. I think Chris Algieri hit the nail on the head. He's got underrated boxing skills, and Teddy Atlas is showing that he underrates Beterbiev's boxing talent, and he's giving it all to Bivol. You notice this? He's giving all of the credit to Bivol. Will versus skill. So what is he saying? He's saying that Beterbiev needs to come in there and like will his way into this fight. He needs to come like a bulldozer, right? And like plow through this guy. That's not the case, people, because again, I'm going to be showing that in a couple of minutes. In the Joe Smith fight and other fights, Beterbiev had shown that he makes you pay. You make one mistake and he makes you pay quickly. When does Bivol do that? He really doesn't. So you can't just say, and he catches you on the back foot. Beterbiev can catch you moving on the back foot, and he does it more effectively than Bivol does it. So how could you really say it's just will versus skill? Why can't we just say it's will versus will? Because at some point, it could be will versus will. You know that? We're going to see if Bivol, if he has the Rocky Balboa in him, right? Because Beterbiev could take it there. He could become the bulldozer. And then it's will versus will, people. It ain't will versus skill. But Beterbiev does have the skill to knock out Bivol moving on the back foot. He does. He's not just some bulldozer. He can catch him using boxing technique. He knows how to slip and hit. This is something Joe Smith and these other guys don't do well. Beterbiev can do it. He knows how to slip and hit. That's a very important ability in boxing that a lot of guys don't have, which is very surprising. When I mean slip and hit, that's like what you see Mike Tyson do, right? That's what you see a high-level boxer do. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be able to come forward, slip off the line, and come right back in, right? You slip off, slip to the right, boom, you come back in with the right hand, you come in with the left, right? That's what Beterbiev does that well. Bivol, a lot of the combinations we see from him, he's not slipping and hitting. A lot of it is just kind of like, it's almost semi-shoe shine, a lot of it. And what I just showed you a second ago in the Canelo fight, he's very predictable in the way he's throwing that jab. It may be Bivol, but the setup is very similar to Joe Smith. It's just pretty much a probing jab that has many times has nothing on it, and it's just to set up the right hand. That is not something you want to do versus a guy like Beterbiev. He sees it immediately, and he makes you pay for it. So Teddy Atlas, with his will versus skill, it might actually be really, really incorrect. And he is the person that Chris Algieri is talking about. He's the guy that is underestimating Beterbiev. He's underestimating his boxing skills.
Bivol. So, but again, if we're going to be accurate about it, yeah, Beterbiev has more than just power, more than just relentless aggression. Yeah, he is skilled. He's technically really solid. He gets into position with his feet. He does it behind the jab. He does little things. He moves off to the side.
Why does Teddy Atlas look like somebody just punched him in the face? What's up with his face? He always looks like he was in a knife fight, like a big scar across his face. Now he's got this bruise on his face. Was he a fighter or something, Teddy Atlas? He looked like he took many beatings. He looks like more beat up than most boxers. He looks like an old Ricky Hatton.
Every once in a while, little things that are subtle that you sometimes don't give him credit for, because at the end of the day, he wrecks the house. You know, he knocks the building down, and that's all. At the end, you see the rubble, and you're saying, okay, this guy's a wrecking ball, and that's all you walk away with. But there obviously is more to it than that. Here's the thing for me, handicapping it. You could stay here all day about, you know, controlling distance. Bivol has the edge on the outside, the jab, you know, accurate punching, you know, boxing ability. He can fight with you. He can also set traps. He can use his legs. He's more dimensional than Beterbiev. All that. Beterbiev's got to go to the body, take the wheels away. But at the end of the day...
No, he doesn't have to go to the body. It's not necessary. One of the things he needs to do, something that would be important, is to slip and hit. That's the thing to do. You come in, you take your head off the line. You come in Mike Tyson style. You get on him and you get in your range. You set your range and you hit him. You don't do what Joe Smith did. I said this in the last stream. You do not want to get knocked out of position. You don't want to throw a punch before you find your range. And people, if Joe Smith can get in on Bivol and land a fucking right overhand on this guy's head, there's no doubt about it that Beterbiev can land on him. Bivol's going to need to use a lot of lateral movement. He's going to be circling away, but this guy is dynamite in both hands. So you got to change it up. You got to change up the way you move. He's got to do a lot. He's got to do a lot of different things. But this video is all about proving that Beterbiev is, in some ways, he may possibly be the superior boxer. I do agree with Teddy Atlas that Bivol, in some ways, he might have the advantage in the range battle, just because of the fact he's very fleet-footed. He jumps in and out. But he might actually be out of position because of this, because he's going to be possibly moving back a lot. Also, we go back to what Roy Jones said. How does Bivol react to a guy, if this guy lays leather on him, and he's gonna, how's he going to take that power when it hits him? What happens if it makes him spaghetti leg for a second? Is Bivol going to get stronger, or is he going to become a runner? I think he's going to become a runner. I have a feeling he's going to keep moving those legs, because then this guy puts it on you. It's like no other. It's like no other. When you take that shot, you're going to be like, shit, if I take another one of those, I'm going to get knocked the fuck out. And we don't know what's going to happen, but, I mean, come on, people. 100% knockout percentage. This guy's incredibly dangerous. To just blow him off with, oh, well, he's a superior boxer and all this. This guy closed the range, people. He has a lot of amateur fights, and he has well, he don't have a ton of pro fights, but every pro that's in front of him, he's crushing them like they're nobodies.
The most important thing to me is that maybe for the first time in Beterbiev's career, he has a guy in front of him that not only has the skills to beat him, because there's been guys in front of him before that had the skills to beat him on paper, but in fights on fought on paper, it didn't work out that way because they didn't have the will to deal with that pressure, to not get evaporated by that pressure. Bivol.
How does he know that Bivol has the will? Right? Isn't that funny? He just said a couple of minutes ago, will versus skill. So in a way, he's kind of saying that Beterbiev has the will. Then what does Bivol have? He just has the skill, right? Is he saying that he doesn't have the will? He just has the skill?
Well, I think that's being overlooked a little bit, although Paulie already touched on it, so you guys don't overlook it. But the public might. That Bivol has the will. He has the mental concept.
Oh, now he has the will too?
To be able to use his skill in the environment that he's going to have to do, which is basically a house on fire.
When you look at the lead,
all right.
It's supposed to happen earlier.
We get it. I'm watching a couple more seconds of this. I'm going to get out of this video. 1 minute. Let's listen to the fake Wish.com Joe Rogan.
In the year, a meniscus injury to Beterbiev. Paulie, if you're going against Beterbiev in this fight, are you assuming that at 39 that maybe the wheels physically are falling off in the face of what Coach just pointed out, the pressure Bivol is going to bring, that his body might not be able to handle it? Is that a question coming in?
I mean, you got a 39-year-old, right? So there's always some dynamic of where you're going to question it. The thing about it is they always say the power is the last thing they go, right? So and your fundamentals also help you in aging. You know, guys who get away with a athleticism and making mistakes, they don't age so gracefully, you know. But the guys with proper fundamentals, they're able to keep those fundamentals right and last a little longer. And also the power, like I just said, you know, the power is the last thing to go. So, you know, Teddy made some really good points there, you know, because you talk about, and the thing I want to focus on is that
guy's a damn lichen, people. He's a lichen. He's not even human. He's a werewolf. That's what he is. He's a fucking werewolf. All right, let me lower this a little bit. The city audio might be a little too loud. All right, so we got here. It says Teddy Atlas just mad because Beterbiev crushed I can't even pronounce that, and he was his coach. Gavad, however you say that. Yes, he crushed his fighter. Yes, I mean that could be it. I mean, what's funny is they're showing the video of it, right? There you go. And also, look, Benavidez threw everything at this guy. When he fought this dude, he could not even knock him down. But Beterbiev just beat the living fuck out of this guy. And that, you know, that's the guy, Benavidez, the guy that Canelo fears. So it's like, it's just funny. It's just funny that they're like, well, bro, Bivol, he beat Canelo, even though this guy crushed the guy, Beterbiev crushed the guy that basically gave Benavidez trouble without even trying, right? The guy that Canelo fears. All right, whatever. It's too many layers, people.
Bivol has the determination, the will to win. With Beterbiev, we've seen him break guys' will to win. And that's the question mark here. Bivol is a mentally very strong fighter. Well, okay, his will to win is not going to get broken. You know who came close was another Eastern fighter, Bosdick.
You see, people, what is this being based off of? That's the thing. They keep saying this, but they again, going back to what Roy Jones said, Beterbiev has been dropped and gotten off the canvas. He's passed that test. He's been through it in the ring. Bivol has not. So how can they keep saying that, you know, he's gone through this and he's like basically like he's battle hardened when he hasn't gone through much of anything in the ring, right? So we can't. He's making. Let's hear what he said again, because this opinion is coming from thin air.
You kind of see him as a mentally very strong fighter. Well, okay, his will to win is not going to get broken. You know who came close?
His will to win is not going to get broken, but it's never really been tested. So we don't know that for a fact, right? We don't.
Another Eastern fighter, Bosdick. Bosdick had done very well, but eventually, it took a little while, but eventually Beterbiev sort of outgunned him, you know, and he sort of broke him mentally and he got the stoppage. It's going to be very interesting in this fight because Beterbiev is a little older, but
yeah, he's 39 years old. We're not going to watch this whole video. You guys get it. The pundits, they're really all over the place, but they keep leaning towards Bivol, I feel like, but they're pulling all these predictions out of thin air because they're saying he's got the will, but his will's never been tested. He's never fought a guy that's really come and taken that will away. All right, I don't think so. Maybe some guys that come to him, but all these guys didn't have the footwork or the power that Beterbiev is bringing, right? Okay. 1 second. All right, so we got let me see what else I got. I got a bunch of files over here. I'm going to be activating some of them, bro. Okay, so we have we're going to watch a little bit of Beterbiev training. All right? Right after I close some of these screens, I don't want my video to crash. I got a lot of videos up, a lot of what do you call it, tabs open. Okay. See, this is not the greatest technique. I do like how he's loose. You know, he's kind of loose, but the way he swings these shots out, it's kind of almost like an arm punches. You could definitely shoot a straight shot through this. Hopefully he's not doing this versus Beterbiev because he's going to get caught. A straight right hand. Anything straight is going through that. If he attempts to do this, he's going to get caught. I'm not a huge fan of that. He doesn't hold his hands up. He doesn't train with his hands up. He throws a lot of punches with his hands down. You very rarely see him do a roll after a shot. You won't see him throw like a left and then roll right after it, right? Come back with a straight right hand. He just kind of just blitzes the bag. His chin is down. You know, that's good. He kind of pushing the bag there. He's not really punching it. He's pushing it. He does that in the ring, people. This all translates to the ring. There's not a lot of him avoiding after a shot. He doesn't really train that well for the follow-up. He's decent. He's got a decently tucked, his chin's tucked. But he doesn't really use any real defensive techniques immediately after he throws the punch. And look, he leaves his hand down. He trains with his lead hand down. There's high activity, so this messes with a lot of guys, especially ones who are very slow, lumbering, who don't have good timing. They struggle with this kind of thing. But beterbiev would not struggle with this high work rate. He welcomes this. No, he never throws this hook to the body and then rolls right after it to avoid like a hook or anything like that. Right hook or straight right hand. He barely moves his head off the line. He kind of trains himself to not be defensive. That's not a good thing. Throws the left hook to the body and then his head's right there in line again. He comes right back up with his head there. This guy, he doesn't really train with great defense. Throwing some uppercuts over here. All right. Not exactly the best. I like the way Manny Pacquiao and Freddie Roach would train their uppercuts. It's like, this is endurance. They would just throw a million uppercuts. And he would throw them way lower. He would bend his knees a lot more than this. He's like standing up tall throwing these uppercuts. It's not even the proper way you want to throw an uppercut. It's not going to generate much power this way. I think you're better off doing it the way Canelo does it, where you'll kind of throw like a left uppercut, right hook, like very explosive, and then you throw a right uppercut, left hook, like real quick, kind of blend them together. And Bivol's very good at he's got very good flow with his punches, but he don't flow very well uppercuts. You never see him really throw uppercuts. It's more like hooks, more hooks than straight punches and hooks, not uppercuts. And you can see possibly that's why. It's because the way he trains them. He doesn't train them to connect them, left uppercut, right hook, that kind of thing. And then you do your rolls and all that. He doesn't use a lot of movement when it comes to evading shots outside of, jumping in and out and that kind of thing. Head is very much on the line, ready for a hook. Bagnall hit back. It's all right. You can tell he's been going for a while, so you can't really judge this. He looks fatigued. Obviously, he's drenched in sweat. He's probably been doing this for a while. All right, we're going to get out of this. We're going to watch some highlights. I'm going to see what else I have in the folder. All right, we see it. We see it. He's working pretty hard in the gym. Footwork very, very poor here. Like I said, beterbiev, we're going to watch. Like I said, I think, I understand he's in the gym. He's not in the middle of a fight. But look at the way he's setting his feet. He's doing all kinds of bad things here. I mean, what's the point, right? Why train if you're not going to do it correctly? You're just punching the bag hard, and then you're moving, you're crossing your legs. You're doing all kinds of bad stuff here. Wow, first roll I've seen him do. You saw that? It's not a very good one. I don't know. I guess maybe it's for just exercise, I guess. All right, we're going to watch. I think I have one more video here of, I think it's beterbiev. All right, we see the roll here, right? The thing I said Bivol should be doing. Let's see this. Mitt work. I'd say he's doing that exercise actually superior to the way that Bivol is doing it. He's constantly slipping. You notice Bivol likes to throw combinations with his head in line to be hit. Beterbiev is constantly slipping, punching and slipping. Hands, way more responsible with his hands. If you guys notice, a lot more responsible in his training with his defense. This is endurance. That's endurance training. That's for cardio. The way he hits these things, man, it sounds way different from the way Bivol hits it, doesn't it? Can't really see much from this angle. All right, you guys see it. Both guys are pretty intense. From what I see there, it just looks to me, it looks like Bivol throws a lot of combinations. He's throwing a lot of combination stuff. He's not using proper blocking techniques many times. He's got his hands low a lot. He doesn't train defensively responsible when he's hitting the heavy bag, and some of the other exercises really not. He's slacking a little. He's lacking a little bit there. Slacking a little bit. Lacking a little bit. Beterbiev is he's a little more defensively responsible when he does his exercises, and I prefer the fighter to do that. All right, we're gonna listen to Beterbiev's coach, because a lot of these people keep going on and on about the knockout. They think this guy goes for knockouts, and he's gonna clear it up that he's not going for. That's not what he does. The knockout just comes. It's just the guy's just strong. This is what happens when you're a great fighter. You just fight, and you just fight, and the knockout just happens.
I'm delighted to be joined with John Scully. John, how are you, mate?
Everything's great. How are you?
Good stuff. I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for joining me. Out in Riyadh at the moment, out in Saudi Arabia, preparing for a massive fight this weekend, obviously part of Artur Beterbiev's team. Just first of all, talk to me about what it was like out in Saudi, arriving out there, and the welcome you guys get over there.
It's the first thing I noticed is really hot. Like it's really hot, like during the day. You can't even go outside half the time. But we came in, we came in on through the back door, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't make ourselves known. We go to the gym at our own time. Nobody's there. So nobody even sees us.
Is there a reason for it? Is it just how you guys like to do it? Is it so there's no spectators, nothing for you guys to get back to anybody?
Yeah, of course. Arthur wants to focus. All fighters do, really. And, so there's no reason to have people constantly coming around. And, like sometimes he'll be walking and, some people know who he is and they stop him for pictures. And he always obliges, he doesn't complain or anything. But, if everybody knows he's here, then they're going to be here. There's going to be a lot of people and it's going to get to be problematic.
Absolutely. You mentioned a word there, and that's focus. Talk to me about Artur's focus and how he is when he's in fight mode. Is there a difference between camp Arthur and fight night Arthur?
Yeah, for sure. I notice, and all fighters are basically like this, not just him. But, you can tell some guys reach the point earlier than others do in the process. And I noticed like last night, we eat at this restaurant in the hotel, and we just we go at different times, and I happened to be there with him, and we're sat down, and he really didn't say much, whereas normally he talks. So being a fighter myself, I knew not to even say anything.
All right, this video is 16 minutes, so I'm going to go and I'm going to cut to the part where he talks about they don't go for the knockout.
Comes forward and is a knockout artist, obviously 20 wins, 20 KOs. Do you feel that a lot of people look at this fight with Bivol and say that this is a fighter in Bivol, a boxer, against a brawler, somebody who comes forward and is a knockout artist, obviously 20 wins, 20 KOs. Do you feel that Artur's boxing and technique are underrated?
Oh, 100%. And that's good. Like, it's good that they are. I don't think Bivol underrates it, really. But it's good that people do, because, you can catch people sleeping. But I think most of the really boxing people who matter, I think they started realizing it over the last couple of years. I noticed people talking about it when he beat Joe Smith, and everybody thought it was going to be a nuclear war. They were just going to go at it. And he was coming in from angles and stepping to the side, and he was hitting Joe from the sides. And, that was extremely smart boxing. And I think for a lot of people, that was the first time they realized he's a lot more than just a face-first, come-forward brawler. He's not that at all, really.
No, he's not. You're saying people still believe this. You saw Teddy Atlas. He still believes this guy's just a brawler. He's called it will versus skill. So what are you saying? You're saying Beterbiev doesn't have skill. I mean, Teddy Atlas is all over the place, people. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's saying. He's constantly changing his point. And at some point, you're like, you don't even know what he said. He's like a garden hose, guys. He goes out, you go out, you get wet. You get wet with the garden hose. Then you get the lawnmower. You got to get the lawnmower. If you don't get the lawnmower, then you don't have the weed whacker. He's got the weed whacker, people. He's a weed whacker. You're like, what?
When you mentioned the word there earlier on was relentless with Artur, and obviously he carries a lot of power. although he is an extremely high level and well skilled boxer, do you think the fact that he is so relentless and the power that he carries is just, it's almost a, I suppose, almost a guarantee at times that he's going to end before the final bell?
Right. Well, you know, we try not to think that way. Like when we train for the fights, we always train to go the distance. We always train to win on points, like always.
That's one of the reasons this guy's so devastating, is the fact that he has all that power, but he's never fallen in love with his power, right? He's never fallen in love with his power. Everyone else brings it up. He's a boxer. He just has a lot of power. And the fact that he hasn't fallen in love with his power is one of the reasons he's so dominant. Because he doesn't just blow his load like these other fighters. Sometimes it's a curse to have all that power. Certain fighters, they fall in love with it, and then they can't get the knockout right away, or they can't hurt the guy. Possibly they came to hurt the guy. Like they rely too much on their power, and so they don't hone their skills. Like, for example, like a Deontay Wilder, right? He has a punch, right? He has a good right hand. Imagine if he would have actually worked on his craft. He didn't. He really didn't. He would just rely on that one punch. Many times the guy would lose like every round. And then his opponent would kind of like slow down a little bit, and he would land one punch. With Beterbiev, it's very different. He's hitting you with pinpoint shots. He's counterpunching you. He's slipping off the line and coming back. He's doing the stuff a superior boxer would do, like a high-level boxer, a guy that relies on his boxing skills, not purely on his power. You know? So it's very, very dangerous.
Never. In the 8 years I've been here, I've never heard anyone say, okay, well, you know, once we hurt the guy and this and that, and we've never, sorry about that, we've never considered that.
Do you think it's for Arthur, and for any fighter who is a big puncher, I suppose, as well, when they see their opponent hurt, that natural instinct, like a shark to blood, do you think that's just in Arthur, where it's just a natural ability to go, right, I know now's my time to push on, be relentless for this moment?
Oh, for sure. If you slip up even a little bit, if you stumble a little bit, even by accident, he's, you know, you've made a mistake. Like he's waiting for that, and he's going to get on you right away. So yeah. Exactly,
people. He's a sharpshooter. Bivol's going to have to pretty much be perfect in this fight. He better not be a beta.
Yeah. Beta!
Because if a beta, he might wake up feeling like Matt Damon. All right, so we're going to watch some highlights. He's proved the point, people. The guy is not a fucking bum. He doesn't just rely on power. He doesn't, not at all. He never has. He relies on his boxing. Remember, people, to subscribe to The Real Futv. It is a great channel known to man. And remember to hit the like button. All right? It helps the channel, I've been told. Yes, that is the woman John Lennon was married to. Doesn't she have a beautiful voice? All right, so we're going to watch some of the highlights, and I'm going to show you guys how Bivol is possibly not the superior boxer. I guess he throws combinations and he moves his legs, and people they fall in love with that. They love that stuff. Okay, so we got the coach. I've showed you guys the coach video. Okay, we're going to show some of the highlights. Hopefully, DAZN doesn't fuck me over. But if they do, just remember to subscribe to The Real Futv. We're going to go watch a little bit of Bivol's last fight.
This is the WBA and IBO World Light Heavyweight Championship matchup. Dimitri Bivol, a massive favorite here against Malik Zanad.
All right, so he's fighting a guy named Zanad that no one knows who the fuck he is. He's got 102 rounds. Zanad had 22 fights, 16 KOs. Decent record, but who the fuck was he fighting? Bivol's looking like he has a crack addiction or a heroin addiction. What's up with his face, bro? All right, we're going to watch a little bit of this. All right, and this is what I told people before. Bivol tends to kind of leap into shots. He's a little too straight, people. And I don't mean that. No diddy. He's straight, like, he said sometimes he can be very stoic. And he's eating these straight right hands from this guy. You see it over here? Kind of a probe. He stands his ground. Bivol, he makes mistakes, people. He does. The lazy, remember I told you about that lazy jab that he has. You can throw a right hand over it. And we see it here. This is the lazy jab of Bivol. And if he does this versus beterbiev, he might be sleeping. Here it is. Here's the lazy jab. This guy knows that Bivol, and this is right in the beginning of the fight, people. Bivol, he tends to push with the jab. He pushes with the left hand. He doesn't step in with it real hard. If it's not a real dangerous weapon right away to Bivol, to beterbiev, he's gonna lay into him with a right hand. Now, Bivol's, he's responsible with his right hand. He's got it where it should be. But that left hand leaves a big opening. Here it comes. Boom. Right? He came over the top, and he smashes him with that right hand. Now, the guy doesn't have much power, but it's a clean punch. It's very clean. Okay, we're going to move up a little bit so that the zone doesn't fuck me over. All right, I'm going to go forward a little more. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of this, where Bivol makes this mistake. Okay? Bivol's being responsible. He pokes Vanad, or whatever his name is, Zanad, with some jabs. He's kind of poked him, but look, Zanad comes right back. Yes, he gets dropped because he's a fucking bum. And he does. And look, Zanad has... Look, I'll draw. Look at this. Bivol has some pretty good eyes, right? And I don't mean because they're slanty. I'm not biased. Okay, so right hand. You guys can see this. It's coming around over here, right? So I can do this. So Zanad, he throws this right straight, right? He sees the opening there. Bivol steps off the line slightly, comes back with the right hook. I think it's a right hook. Look at Zanad with his left hand down. Like, what are you doing, bro? You got to bring that shit up. Boom. And he steps in with the left hook. So he mixed it up. He mixed it up there, and he dropped him. That's good. But I don't think this is going to happen with beterbiev. Look, he was off the mark. That's the problem. Beterbiev, people, he ain't off the mark. He's a sharpshooter. And that opening is right there. The only reason he didn't land is because he didn't hit the mark. It's there. That's Beterbiev's bread and butter, is that right hand over that lazy jab. Or through the middle. Here it goes. Look, he's posting right now, this guy, Zanad. Bivol should be shooting his right hand over that. And he's waiting too long. He comes in with the left. That's good. But this guy's fighting he's broken, people. He don't know how to defend himself correctly. So he got dropped. He ain't hurt. He's getting more of like a flash knockdown. This guy, I think this guy, I think he gets TKO'd towards the end. Hits him with a little touch jab, chin checked him. And he goes down from kind of a jab to the nose. I'm going to cut ahead. I don't want them to kill the stream, bro. Keep in mind, people, he was going back and forth with this guy. Like, we don't even know. Like, and this dude's making tons of mistakes. He's got his lead hand down. He's just inviting Bivol to hit him. Look, he just pokes him with his jab with his lead hand down because he's trying to set up that right hand. This guy's trying to set a trap. He's standing right in front of Bivol. It's not a lot of danger there, is there, people? Look at that. His timing's off. But Beterbiev, his timing's on point. He's got very good timing. This shot right here might get him caught. Bivol coming in with this lazy jab to the body. With a guy who's very sharp, he'll hit you there. And this is the 8th round. This is how long Bivol went with this guy. He been many rounds with this nobody. Look at this guy. He's just look at him. You do this versus beterbiev, you're a dead man. You see how he uses this posting? He loves to shoot his right hand over stupid little stuff like this. Right? Because look, if Zanad, what is Zanad, right? If Zanad's hand is out here, guess what? The only thing he ain't Ryan Garcia. He ain't gonna pull it back in 2 seconds and hit you with a left hook. No. There's nothing there. There's no danger. The only danger here is in his right hand. So now you know where the danger is. So what you do is you just put up your left hand and block that shot and come in with your right hand, right? You come with the right hand. Bivol, he lets these guys into the fight. He lets them do what they want. And why is that? Is he kind of scared? Is he shook? Because, like I said, Beterbiev is ballsy. You make a mistake in a second. It could be the very beginning of the fight, and he's making you pay, right? This guy Bivol, he lets guys live, man. He lets guys live, and you ain't gonna you better not try to think you're going to be able to do this versus beterbiev. And so he's doing good here, Bivol, against a guy, nobody. He's doing decently. He kind of, what he did is he kind of softened them up. And I think this guy didn't even have like a training camp. He was like a last minute replacement. He was actually on this night. It was supposed to be Bivol versus beterbiev. It ended up being this Zanad guy, who I don't know if anybody knows about Zanad. Zanad people, the all-time great Zanad. So beterbiev blows him out. There's nobody. He's very excited that he won. Right? He's screaming at the top of his lungs. That dude did okay, but this just kind of shows you maybe Bivol's a little, he's got a little smoke up his ass maybe. Maybe he's a little riding high off of a win over this nobody that was making loads of mistakes. So the next thing we're going to watch is the Joe Smith fight. All right? Give me 1 second. See if I can find this. Hopefully I can. Okay. Hopefully I don't have to type this in. Okay, so that was Zanad. Okay, I might have to go look for those highlights. I thought I had it in here. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're gonna watch. Actually, I want to watch. I'm gonna type this in real quick, people. Give me 1 minute. I gotta type it into the search engine. Okay, I want to show you the whole. I'm not going to show you the whole fight, obviously, but I'm going to show you the beginning of this fight. All right, we're going to go ahead a little bit. We're not going to watch Joe Smith with his Eminem looks. Okay, Bivol looking taller. Okay, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to lower this a little bit. All right, right off the bat, people. Right off the bat. Okay, what is this? We're going to go back just a little bit more. I want to get right into the very beginning of the fight. So Joe Smith, he has a tendency to throw this lazy jab. This is a mistake, right? Bivol's just probing as he always does. High guard, decent. Kind of a push jab, nothing there. So look at Joe Smith with this lazy jab, people. And this is what I'm talking about with the difference between beterbiev. You're going to see it when I show the highlights with beterbiev. Look at this. Look at this. Look, he's pumping this lazy jab. The whole intention of this is just to set up his right hand. This is a big mistake in the pro level. And not only does he throw this lazy, stupid, like trash jab just to set up a right hand, but he steps in with this lazy punch. It's all about the right hand with Joe Smith. And so beterbiev picks up on this immediately. Immediately he picks up on this. And he makes him pay. Look at this. Joe Smith comes in. Very, very sloppy work here. If Bivol was more ballsy, he could have caught him with something. But he's not. He doesn't think as fast as beterbiev. You're going to see that in a minute. He's thinking defense first. Here he goes. More mistakes from Joe Smith. Look. He changes his level. He's coming in with this push. There he goes again. It's a lazy jab. You know what you do with lazy jabs? You come over them. And there's many opportunities for Bivol to come over this jab. Look at this. He has many opportunities. Bivol's not stopping on a dime. He's not extremely explosive, people. That's a big problem because he's going to be fighting a guy that may actually be more explosive than him. And big winging punches. You can see these from a mile away. He's being defense first. This means that beterbiev has a good shot if he comes in aggressive of kind of like outworking him and blowing him out because he's thinking defense first. And when you're thinking defense first, well, like I said in my previous video, this guy's got to get beterbiev's respect. If he's thinking defense first, he's a step behind beterbiev because beterbiev is ballsy and he's going to be stepping in. And if you're a little timid, he's on you. He'll be on you because if you're thinking defense first and he's thinking punch first, he's going to be on your ass. All right? He ain't Joe Smith. And so over here, Bivol, slow starter. This is why I said, this guy could go out in the first round. Bivol. It's a possibility. And you see over here, but Bivol drops his lead hand like real low for some reason at times. He'll drop it down. Like, why do you do that? I guess he's trying to bring it low to bring it up, throw a hook or something, but that's not too good. You know, he comes in with that straight right hand. I mean, obviously, Joe Smith, he ain't no high-level guy. You know? He's trying to blitz him out. I can't show too much in a row or they'll kill the stream. We're going to go further into the fight, and we're going to see if this guy continues to make this mistake. Because he does. Bivol isn't making this guy pay for his mistakes. He's able, look, he's able to double, triple, 4 times lazy jab. What do you do with a lazy jab? You just throw a right hand over it. You throw a right hook around. You go over it. You go over it. Well, if this guy's such a virtuoso boxer, why is he allowing this guy to get away with this basic mistake? He would have made him pay for it already. All right? He goes, he just pushes that shit in. Nothing on it. So why aren't you making him pay for it? Look at the way Joe Smith comes in. Sluggish, slow, lazy jab. The intention is only to throw the right hand. The lazy jab isn't intended to hurt you. It's intended to set up the other hand. If it was a real punch, he would step in with it and hurt you with it, the jab, right? So Bivol doesn't have much to worry about when it comes to that jab. So why aren't you making him pay for throwing it? Look at he's just doing it repeatedly. He's able to get away with this. There you go. See? That's what you do. People, that's what you do. Right? That's what you do. But like I said, he's a slow worker. How long did it take for him to make this adjustment? Because I know that Beterbiev, when he fought Joe Smith, he made this adjustment. Boom. Immediately. Now, either his very good team that taught him that this guy makes this mistake, or he just adjusts very quickly. I tend to think it's both of them probably, because in the middle of the fight, his coach isn't there. They can be training this all day, this thing. It's up to Beterbiev to see it and react accordingly. And he did it immediately. Bivol's struggling with this guy with this thing in there. Now he finally fires back, right? This is what you do. This guy's out of position and he's throwing a lazy jab. The intention is only to throw the right hand. So what you do is you block you put up your left hand, you block, and then you fire. You fire quick. You punch with him. Look, he's too slow, people. Too slow. Look at that. He's allowing this guy. That's Beterbiev. He's on him. There you go. That's what you do. Now, this is what he's going to need to. He's going to have to be reactive like that all night long with Beterbiev. He'll have to be on his P's and Q's. He's going to have to get ballsy. He's going to have to get ballsy. You can't be waiting like this. It's got to be that 1-2. Watch. It's waiting too much. This is what he's got to do. Boom. That's it. You just got to do that. He's got to be doing that all night versus Beterbiev, because the moment he gets on him, he's getting caught. He's waiting too much. Like stiff arming. You know, Beterbiev comes over that. He's coming over that. If he does this stupid stiff arm shit, Beterbiev's coming under it, or he's coming around it, or he's coming over it. Joe Smith stepping in. Sloppy, people. Sloppy. And he's not. But I thought he was the superstar boxer over here, right? He's the better boxer, right, Teddy Atlas? If he's the better boxer, why is this guy allowed to keep living? Right? Why is he still up on his feet? This ain't just all power. This is technique. This is eyes. This is having the ability to see these mistakes and make the guy pay. And Joe Smith is walking into shots. So you know what they say about that? They say it makes your shots even more powerful. So why has this guy not even been dropped once? Look, if he can't drop Joe Smith like he's a nobody, then how would anybody think, oh, he's a virtuoso boxer. He's gonna get Beterbiev coming in. He's just gonna box his ears off, right? He can't even box Joe Smith's ears off. And I do like Bivol, people. I'm not against him, but come on. Joe Smith standing right in front of him. I'll show you again. I'll draw a line. Obviously, you guys can see this. Anybody that knows boxing. Look. This guy is a dead man, too. He is completely exhausted, Joe Smith. This is round number 9, right? This is a dead man in front of Bivol. A dead bum. Look, he's falling over. This is how tired this guy is. He's completely gassed. You saw that? He pushed and he fell backwards. He could barely stand. And this isn't even from being punched. This is just pure exhaustion. This guy is, look, the breath pushes him. He's falling over almost, Joe Smith. Steps in with this ugly, pushing all his shots. I can't show too much, people. But look, this guy, Bivol cannot take this dude out. Look, he's just coming straight in. doing his shoe shine shit. Look, he got his fucking lead hand down this far. And he's just letting him live. He's literally just standing in front of Bivol, just playing around. Bivol coming in 2 left hooks, and Joe Smith makes Bivol miss. Then he comes in with a big sloppy left hook. Bivol, like the way they make it out is that Bivol's going to be some virtuoso boxer versus Beterbiev. Beterbiev is far better than Joe Smith. So what this tells me is that most likely, look, if Bivol, this tells me that most likely Bivol will not be able to put Beterbiev away. So he's going to be in front of Bivol all night long. And he's going to be coming a lot better than this guy is. Like I said in my other video, he's not an idiot. Beterbiev knows when to punch. He's not going to be out of position like this guy. And he's going to be watching Bivol's mistakes. He's going to try to make Bivol pay for his mistakes. Joe Smith doesn't know how to make this guy pay. You know, the stiff arm, all this shit. He makes mistakes. Look, right there, he just threw that right hand with his left hand down to his hip. You know, these are the kind of things you pay for. There he goes. Look, watch. You'll see right now, right now. Look, he throws this right hand in the left, that right. He throws that. Look, Bivol throws the right, but his left is down. It's still down. It's still down. And then he circles him with his hands down. His hands are still down. You know, he steps in. He's right there, people. He throws true left hooks. His hands are down. That's a dangerous combination. It works versus this guy. But when you do that versus Beterbiev, that's a no. Watch. We'll see it again. Look at this. But Beterbiev likes to punch with you. Or Beterbiev, he likes to punch with you. Watch. We're going to see it in a second again. Here comes the left hook. It looks pretty, right? But it's the kind of shit that gets you knocked out. He threw that left hook and he fell in. Now you're going to see him throw this left hook. And then he throws the neck. And this is what he does in the heavy bag, too, if you guys noticed. And I talked about this before. It's cute, but he's not Mike Tyson. He doesn't roll after he throws it, which is a big problem. And he throws 2 left hands in a row. That kind of combination, you want to be extremely explosive with it. Because when Beterbiev sees that, you throw the one and he likes to punch with you. And he'll be willing to take one to land one. This is an incredibly dangerous combination. This is late into the fight. And he's got his left hand down for far too long. Right here, Bivol. And he throws that shot to the body. That's cool. But look, when he's done with the 2 punches, look where his hand is. It's down to his hip. How could people say that this guy is fundamentally sound? He does things that are not fundamentally sound. And I do like Bivol. He's very good, and he does have good fundamentals. But he does tend to get, I guess, maybe a little too into himself. And he makes these big mistakes. He leaves his hand low. He throws a hook to the body. He throws 2 left hooks, and he has his hands down at the end. He has his lead hand down, and he has chin up in the air. He's going to do, I think we might have already passed it. I mean, this works versus this guy, right? And I think around here that Joe Smith is going to hit him with something big. He hits him with that big overhand. Look, he's stalking him with his hands down. Oh, my Lord. I do like, the step back. He tries to set a little trap there. But, he just doesn't come back with any real power when he sets the trap. Okay, we're going to go forward a little bit. I forget which round that he hurts him in. But people, this guy is able to hang with him for a long while. He's hanging with him. We can go over all kinds of stuff and mistakes here. Yeah, he blitzes you. That's good. Especially with a slower fighter who's gassed. That's going to work. That's going to do something. Joe Smith being outworked and outmoved. He can outmaneuver him. Look, Joe Smith out of position. He's always doing that. He can't find his range, and he's got terrible accuracy. And speed. Everything's just bad. Okay, Joe Smith is completely gassed. It was literally falling over in the 8th round, just falling over from exhaustion. Bivol can't take him out. Stepping in all sloppy. He steps in with this weak kind of like push jab. Look, he hits him with it. He cannot throw this fucking right hand over it. Look at this. He's defense first, people. That means that he can be outworked. But Joe Smith is not putting enough leather at him. But later in this fight, Joe Smith was actually getting into the fight. He hurt Bivol, and then he was following him around the ring, and Bivol was now starting to use lateral movement because he was being outworked. He's outmoved. Look, he starts using that. He's trying to get on his bike, which is one of the things he's going to have to use against Beterbiev, but he's going to have to throw some fucking punches, people, something that really keeps him off. Because again, Beterbiev is not going to punch out of position. He's going to get into position and then punch. That's the proper way to do it. Where this also, he has better agility. He has so many qualities that are way better than Joe Smith, dude. Beterbiev obviously is no Joe Smith. Joe Smith ain't even close to that level. Look. The same thing, like I told you guys. Look, this guy's dead exhausted, and he could still throw this lazy jab, and this guy does not throw that right hand over it. But he's a virtuoso boxer, people. Why is he not making him pay for this basic mistake? You know, even AJ, look, Francis Ngannou, that's how Francis Ngannou got knocked out. Because when you throw a lazy jab, it's usually to set up that right hand. Also, if you're throwing this lazy jab out there, you can't block your face to defend that side of your face. And that other fighter has nothing to fear from that jab. So what you do is you block the side of the shot you know he's going to load up, or you try to beat him to the punch and you roll. You use the proper defensive technique to evade or to block the follow-up. Because you know it's coming. If he's throwing a lazy jab, you know if it's with the left hand, you know that the right hand. It's just to set up the right hand. In Joe Smith's case, it was an overhand many times. He would load it up. He would come in with the lazy jab. He'd bend his knees. He'd try to hit you with the overhand. Now he throws a right hand. There's nothing there. He's a dead man. But again, look. If this guy was such a great slippery boxer, I mean, a great boxer with great like dynamics, and I think he is pretty dynamic. He's got some pretty nice combinations at times. But he should be lining this guy up for right hands. He's wide open for everything. What's crazy is that Bivol actually gets hit with one of these. I'm going to see where it is. I think it's over here. It's at the end of the round. With all this shit, this guy still eats one of these fucking overhands. That dirty stuff from Joe Smith. Look at rabbit punches. I forget what round that he hit him with that overhand. I think they're going to show it right now. Look at this. Look at this. He come in with this lazy jab, and this guy will not hit him with that right hand. You see? He comes in with a jab. You know what that's called, people? I really like Bivol, but this is poor punch selection. It should be a right hand, not a jab. You got to, and he showed he can do this earlier in the fight. That he would be more explosive and line him up for that right straight. I mean, all Joe Smith has is his overhand. He's not really landing anything with the right hand. You know, you just block. I mean, you block his right hand and you hit him. Look, he's got to come over that with his right hand. He's ducking down. His punch selection here is kind of poor, I feel like. And Bivol's a taller fighter, I think. He looked taller at the beginning of the fight. He's a dirty... Yeah, he did hit him on the ear. Wow, it's a pretty decent punch. He ate. And again, Beterbiev can do the same thing. He can hit him with these chopping right hands. That's a big, big problem, people. Look, if Joe Smith can hit you with these fucking shots on the inside like that, then Beterbiev can definitely get in on the inside and hit him with stuff like this. And obviously, it's going to be 10 times more powerful. This guy's putting everything on that punch, Joe Smith. And, he's not the biggest puncher in the world. He ain't Beterbiev, that's for sure. But if he's eating these from Joe Smith, he's definitely going to eat some of these from Beterbiev. And they're going to have a very different effect on him. Okay, this is round 12. I forget what round he gets rocked, people. If anybody in the comments knows the round, I want to see. But I don't know if it matters that much. It's just crazy that this guy, like they're trying to make it like, will versus skill. Well, if that's the case, then why is it that Bivol can't make him pay for this basic mistake where Beterbiev can? Okay, we see it. Look, this way he eats that right overhand. Look, this guy's made so many mistakes, right? So many mistakes here Joe Smith has made. And Bivol still eats this fucking overhand right. You see, this is what happens when you can't take guys out right away. Yeah, he's unwilling to really fire with him. And he showed that he can do it. He can shoot that right hand over that. He can catch this guy coming in, but he's unwilling to really let his hands go. So what this tells me is that Beterbiev can come with a high guard and get on top of this guy. He can get in on him. And if he hits him with something, you're going to see him get on his bike, because he got on his bike in this fight, Bivol. Towards the end of the fight, he was on his bike and he was running around using lateral movement, trying to avoid that overhand. But he's going to have big issues avoiding these small chopping shots from Beterbiev. Those are going to be able to sneak through. So Bivol's going to have to really be on his bike. He's going to have to really not let this guy get close. Look at this. Remember I said, right, that Bivol, he makes mistakes the way he comes in with these punches. He doesn't roll. You can time him. Look. Left hook, it's a lazy punch too. Bivol has a tendency to throw a lot of lazy left hands. Left hand's very lazy. And so Joe Smith comes over it. Boom. And he punches with him, which is the same thing Beterbiev will be doing all night long. The whole thing is, look, people, he never should have been struggling like this with Joe Smith. I mean, come on, virtuoso boxer struggling with Joe Smith. There you go. Right on the temple. All right, so we're going to watch a little bit of beterbiev versus Joe Smith now. All right, 1 second, people. Okay, I'm going to see what I got here. All right, so we got Joe Smith versus beterbiev. There's a fucking breakdown of the zone. Leave me the F alone, all right? What are you, racist? Okay. I got all the, you guys see here all the advantages, right? You see here? 32-year-old Joe Smith, younger than bivol. Bivol's 33 years old, right? But look at this. Joe Smith has a very large reach. He has a 76-inch reach. Obviously, beterbiev has a better reach than bivol. Bivol has a 72-inch reach, supposedly. 37 years old. Right? Not too long ago, 5'11", yes. The dimensions are very similar when it comes to Joe Smith and bivol. But obviously, Bivol's I think he's a superior fighter. Superior boxer to Joe Smith. But what we're studying here is we're looking at if Bivol's the superior boxer, then why is it that beterbiev is able to make this guy pay for his mistakes better than Bivol could? The better boxer would be able to pick him apart with laser accuracy, right? Walk him onto traps. Bivol many times is defense first. He's also, from what I saw in the Joe Smith fight, he's a slow starter. And he's a bad finisher too. He didn't finish this Joe Smith fight too well. All right, both guys meeting in the middle of the ring. Here we go. Right, here he comes in, steps in with the jab, Joe Smith. Here it is. Here's the lazy jab, people. He's doing it again. He pushes that jab, right? There's nothing there. Look, boom, nothing. Boom, nothing. Beterbiev already sees this. He already sees he's going to be able to shoot over it. So what is he doing? He's trying to get the space. He's setting the trap. He's getting ready. He's already seen it. He's getting ready to take advantage of this mistake. And here it comes. Here it comes. Watch, he got the space. Watch. Circle, he's getting his positioning. Boom. He just comes over. Right around the guard. He chops around it. Now he's going to wait. He's going to get him when he shoots him with this lazy. He's got him out of position. Right? Bivol let this guy flail these real shit punches all over the place and let him get away with it. He was spooked by this guy, it looks like. He's touching him up a little bit. He's going to keep setting this trap. Watch. Beterbiev he's going to take these steps back. He's setting traps. He's getting the space. He's shooting around his lead leg. He's getting ready to chop this shot over. He's setting up. This isn't wildness, people. Slipping off the line, right? You see that? He stays in position and slips off the line. Many times, Bivol steps too far out of range. He takes himself out of striking range, right? So he can't even land anything because he's taking himself out of punching range. He's out of position. Sorry, people. Bivol takes himself out of position where beterbiev he's setting up to land something. Here he goes. Look at Joe Smith with the stiff arm. You know what you do with a stiff arm? You come over it. Right? Joe Smith landing a body shot there. He's coming in a little heavy and intimidating beterbiev. All right, beterbiev again. Boom. Look. You see this? This ain't mistakes, people. This is timing. He's already got his number. It's just going through the motions of finishing him. He hasn't hit him with the bomb yet, but he knows exactly what he has to do. He's trying to step outside of the lead leg, get around that. This allows him to get away from that right hand of Joe Smith. He's trying to step away from that right hand, but he's also setting up his own weapon, that right hand. His own right hand. Look, this guy can't even touch him. He's coming in real heavy too, Joe Smith. Real heavy. He's going to walk into something. Watch, here it comes. Well, it's going to happen in a second. Watch. He's getting rough in there, Joe Smith, right? This is probably why in the interview after he was like, oh, I thought I was stronger. Because he let him do this, you know? He's letting him work. Here he comes. He's just, look, he closed that. Nothing touches this guy, man. This guy, look, Joe Smith throws a jab, he just closes it. There's not a lot of movement being used here from beterbiev, right? Boom. Push that jab. He gets hit with a little thing. You don't care too much, right? Boom. Again. Just coming around. Because, you know, the guy, he has a tendency to throw this lazy shot. He's coming over it. This ain't just mindless brawling. You see, he gets that space. He's getting that positioning in that space to chop around that. He comes with the lazy. I showed you. I'll just draw for no. I'll draw just to show you. It's obvious, people. Look, here it is. This is very, very obvious, this mistake this guy makes. He's getting real low here, right? This is what beterbiev sees. He's shooting it over this, right over his shoulder. Joe Smith has a tendency to just shoot it in. He just kind of pokes in this jab. There's nothing on it. So beterbiev doesn't have to worry about it. All he's got to do is just chop over that. This is what he's thinking about always. When beterbiev circles over here to get outside of his lead leg, it makes Joe Smith reset. And now beterbiev is going again to try to land this shot. This is all beterbiev is thinking about, is chopping this shot over this guy's lead hand the whole time. This is why he's circling him. This is why he's getting that space. And he's always thinking about this shot. This is what Bivol was not. Bivol was like running around like he was scared. This guy's a strategist. He knows exactly what he has to do to finish this guy. And he's going to keep, and he keeps working on it. He's going to keep stepping to that right. And this time he comes over the top around with it. And soon he's going to come over it with the straight right hand. It's just Joe Smith is smothering him. He doesn't do, obviously he's not able to do this for too long. Boom, he just comes around it. It's always coming around that hand. And also that hand, for the most part, Joe Smith's left hand is trash. There's no danger there. So beterbiev is just shooting around it, right? He has no problem just shooting around it, not even caring, because the right hand is the only danger. Obviously, you see this punch. It's perfect. Perfect technique. Look at the way that thing hits him. You can see the fucking, what do you call it? The motion blur on that shot. You can see the glove trail. It's crazy. He's just chopping around. You see that? It's just fucking him up. Look at this. Chopping. He comes down. He sees, beterbiev actually sees this left hook coming in. And watch what he does. He evades it. You see that? They're going to say that Bivol is the superior boxer, right? Beterbiev just basically, he was going to raise his elbow in order to avoid this left hook, right? Beterbiev was raising his elbow. This is a blocking technique. He threw his right hand and he came with the elbow to defend himself, but it didn't reach the target. He did a great job getting away, pushing himself away from that shot. You see that? That's not a mistake, people. He saw that left hook coming in. He's just beating this guy's ass like he's nothing. He's already dropped him. I mean, we could probably watch a fight. There's a nice little sharp jab. Beterbiev never really takes himself completely out of position. Bivol's constantly out of position. And this is why he's short. Look, boom, jab, straight right hand, boom. And it's always around that left hand. Beterbiev has found a home right here. Right here. Right? Joe Smith is not, he's very, very bad at defending him. He's decent at defending himself, high guard, right? But Beterbiev has found a home right here. Around Joe Smith's left hand, because there's not much danger there. So he doesn't find any problem with constantly throwing hooks there, chopping around it, because you don't have to worry about him like Joe Smith catching him with the big bomb left hook, right? He's got a decent right hand, and he's not worrying about that left hand, so he's going to keep chopping him away on his left side. He's going to do it again. He's just setting him up. Now he throws it to the body, switch it up a little bit, right? So he's not thinking about the shot that's going to hit him on the left side every time. He's always thinking about it. You know, he's going to circle there, but yeah, he shoots that left hook around there, right? He's up to people again. Look, he's always in position. He's circling him. He's stepping outside of his lead leg to try to land this right hand again. He's going to catch him again. Boom. He's constantly trying to catch him because he throws that lazy jab. And Joe Smith was a little more intelligent there, but Beterbiev, he's got his number already. This isn't wild swinging. This is timing and positioning and proper footwork and staying in position. See, yeah, you jump back, hey, caught him again, and it's the lazy jab. Look, this is the same thing that he did versus Bivol all night long. He's stepping in with the lazy jab. You see that? What do? You see it, right? Beterbiev's thinking. This is what he's thinking. I'm going to take this fist, and it's going to come right over that. It's coming right over this lazy jab right here. This lazy jab is a death sentence versus a high-level fighter. Right here. That's all open right there. Right? That's all right. That's open for, and he gets in too close. The problem is, one of the problems with Joe Smith is the fact that he actually has a reach advantage over Beterbiev. He has a reach advantage, but he's coming in too close. But even if he didn't, Beterbiev has a way of closing that range and still coming over it. But he's coming over, Beterbiev's coming over over the lazy jab of a guy who has a pretty decent reach advantage over him. But he's smothering his work. He's stepping in. He's getting too close. That's a bent, his elbow's bent. Joe Smith's elbow shouldn't be bent. He should be at the end of that punch. He's getting in too close. And he did that versus bivol all night long, Joe Smith. But he can't make that same mistake versus this guy. Why? Because this guy possibly is the superior boxer to bivol. He sees these openings. He sees these mistakes, and he makes this guy pay for them immediately. So here we go. Fight's basically already over. He knows how to beat him. Joe Smith does not make the adjustment. He's just going to keep throwing this lazy jab. He's going to keep getting dropped. All right, we're going to watch the last round of this fight, people. But before we do that, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to The Real Futv. This is The Real Futv, people. You're watching the breakdowns of the big fight on October 12th. This is bivol versus beterbiev. The big unification fight, people. If you love boxing, this is the fight to watch. Here we go. The superior, the supposed, he's going to beat him. This is Teddy Atlas, what Teddy Atlas says. Oh, it's will versus skill. Well, who are you talking about, bro? Because I know that the way I said it, I said that bivol might actually have to become Rocky Balboa in this fight. You know what that means? That's will. That's what Rocky Balboa was, people. He was all about will. Apollo was better. Remember? Apollo was far better. But Rocky came there with his will, right? He came in there with his balls and his pride, and he came to knock the guy out, right? And that's what he did. I don't think Bivol can do that. So, I mean, in this case, you might have Beterbiev might have both the will and the skill, right? And the power. He got all three, right? Right, give me 1 second. This is the music that Bivol's going to need. This is Rocky 2, people. Beterbiev is showing that he has the will, skill, and the power. Bivol is more fleet-footed. He's faster in some ways, but people, he's out of position. Beterbiev is not. Beterbiev is circling. He does jump out a little bit, right? He does. His movements is to kind of throw off this guy's rhythm in some ways. He circles to the right, he circles to the left. He knows he's just going to chop this shot over this guy's lazy shot. Here he goes. Told you. You see the replay? Let's see that on full screen. Beterbiev sees the lazy jab. We're going to go back again, just a little inch. This is a mistake this guy made all night versus Bivol. The very moment that he extends this jab, right? He's out of position. This is a lazy jab. Joe Smith is throwing this simply to set up his right hand. Beterbiev knows this, and he knows it's a fucking lazy jab. There's nothing to worry about. So what he's done, he waits the very moment this guy throws this fucking lazy jab, Beterbiev just cocks that gun, right? And that shot's coming already. You see him? He's got his chin tucked. Beterbiev is real low with that chin, and he's coming over that shot. He's coming over. Boom! Right to his head. The very moment that he lets this shit out the holster. Joe Smith should just be blocking, really. He shouldn't be throwing this lazy punch, but it's an amateur mistake. He loves to do that. And he made him pay for it right away, where Bivol failed to make this guy pay for this. He hit him a couple of times, him using it, but Beterbiev was relentless with making this man pay for this. Boom, and he dropped him, right? That's why he dropped him. There's will versus skill. Well, who has the skill, bro? Because this guy's showing that he's the sharper fighter. All right, here we go. Joe Smith getting schooled. If you watch the screen on the top, he's been rocked again. This guy just keeps chopping over Now he's starting to. Now Beterbiev's starting to get a little crazy because he knows he's got the guy done already. He's got him fucked up. He can feel it that the guy's wilting. Joe Smith is coming in with the same shit. This guy does not learn. And then Joe Smith, after the fight, had the nerve to say that Bivol was the better fighter. This guy just, all he does, look, boom, again. And why? Because it's a lazy jab. Look at the lazy jab of Joe Smith. Look, it's always... He's making the same mistake all night long. He just doesn't stop. He's an idiot. He's an idiot, and his team are a bunch of idiots. They don't tell him about this. He got dropped. He got dropped like twice already, making the same mistake. Again, look, he comes in. Maybe just fucking keep your left hand up, bro. You just... Look at this. Look, you guys see it. He's throwing this dumbass lazy jab. He just keeps coming over it with the right hand. Boom. And he just loads up on it. Because look, Beterbiev is setting another trap. He's just setting the trap over and over again. Look, he's going to turn to the left. He's going to try to step outside of his lead foot, right? He turns it, boom. He just loads up on that shit. And this idiot just walks in with the lazy jab and boom, he just comes over. He punches with him because the lazy jab is simply to distract Beterbiev. But Beterbiev isn't distracted. He knows that this fucking guy wants to throw this right hand. And so what he does, he just punches with him. That's all he does, just punch with him. Boom. And then Joe Smith's already down. And look at Beterbiev's hand. He knows what the follow-up is. So he puts his left hand up. He throws his right hand. He puts his left hand up. Boom. And look, he knows he's waiting for the follow-up. He jumps back. The guy's down again. This ain't luck, people. This is just a much higher level. This guy ain't on Beterbiev's level. Joe Smith coming in again, people. There goes with the late trash left hook, right? Not much trouble here. You know, here goes. There's a jab, pops his head. The big, nice shots. Look, Beterbiev, this is just basically closing the show now. I mean, he's just playing with him. Look, boom, body shot. What do you guys think's going to happen when he hits Bivol with something like that? That body shot. Because now Joe Smith, all he's worrying about is he's chopping shots around the guard. Beterbiev's coming under now. He's coming under. He sees that Joe Smith's now trying to avoid this left hook, and now Beterbiev changes it up, right uppercut, and the guard comes right up. His defense is better than Bivol's. Look, he stays in the pocket. He stays in. He doesn't put himself out of position. Bivol's constantly out of position. This guy is not. This is beautiful boxing, man. Now he's just beating out. Look at that right hand, Lord. That's a perfect punch. It's proper technique. It's not sloppy. He knows how to get his placement. He gets his positioning perfectly. He's not fighting with emotion. He's just a destroyer. He knows he's not fighting with. He looks like he's fighting with emotion, but he's not. He's just going for the kill. That's the killer instinct. And he knows he got to hit him right. Look at that. Intimidation factor too. Look at the way this guy dresses. He's dressed up like a damn vampire or some weird gangster. He's wearing like super long dress socks or something. Almost over. We're watching the whole fight. Wish we didn't do this, and hopefully they don't kill this stream. It's such a short fight. Boom, again, he's just chopping that right hand over that. Just chopping around it. People, look. Just chopping around it. Boom. He just goes around it. There's always an opening there. Bivol didn't have the guts to do this. Look, there it is. The guy's a sharpshooter, man. He's a sharpshooter. Boom. Around that guard. This guy's just getting completely taken to school. He's taking him to school in a way that Bivol could not. And this ain't just a wild man. This is just precision. Precision shooting. He knows where the opening always is. Now he's popping his head up. He sees Joe Smith is bending his head, and what does he do? He starts throwing uppercuts. Joe Smith is now trying to block his head and then try to lower his base in order to get around these chopping right hands, chopping left hands. And so Beterbiev sees this, and here comes the uppercuts, right? He's lowering his head. Boom, boom. And then he comes back around again with the right hand, and it's over. Look, a guy could barely stand. You see it, people. The superior boxer is not Bivol. It's Beterbiev. People would be shocked, right? They're going to be shocked that this guy might actually outbox Bivol. Joe Smith getting taken to boxing school. He makes beterbiev makes him pay for the mistakes that Bivol did not. Bivol didn't make this guy pay for his amateurish mistakes. Coming in with that lazy jab, dropped him like 2 or 3 times, making the same mistake over and over and over again. Right? This was nothing for this guy. But Canelo, Bivol beat Canelo. He beat Canelo, bro. I'm kidding. I like Bivol. I like him. Look, he's staring a hole through him. He's like, he's like, he wasn't the best guy I ever fought. Hey, people, is he going to take Bivol to boxing school on Saturday? Put your predictions in the comment section. People, do you think that Bivol is going to be able to stand up to this? Do you? Look at Beterbiev's eyes. He's staring a hole through this fucking guy. He's watching what he's doing. Chin tucked. Perfect, right? Joe Smith stepping in like a retard. Here's the opening. This is what Beterbiev is watching right here. You're going to see Joe Smith extend this lazy jab. And there it is. As soon as he does, look what's coming over it. Boom. It's already got him. And then he slips out the side door, right? The guy can't box, right? He just smashes him and then slips out the side. Floyd Mayweather wishes, that's almost like Floyd. That's almost like Roy Jones-esque. Remember when Roy Jones had his hands behind his back? This is very similar to that, except this guy doesn't have his hands behind his back, right? He slipped into the right. Look. He loads the punch, people. This isn't an arm punch. Look at Beterbiev's body. As soon as Smith throws this lazy jab, you'll see Beterbiev load this right hand. Look at him load it. Boom. He's loaded it. Now here it comes over the top. Boom. And he just catches him with it. That's perfect timing. That's beautiful. And then he circles to the right. Circles out, gets out the side door. This guy's like, what the fuck? He's like, I don't know what's happening. Boom. This guy really is the super freak. There's a right hand right through the middle. Joe Smith's like, what the fuck? Am I human? Should I retire? This guy was not the best guy I fought. Bivol was. The guy's a super freak, people. He's a Lycan. He's from Underworld. He's a vampire. He's like, damn it. If I only threw more lazy jabs. Boom. Look at him just setting him up. Look at it. Look at the way this guy throws these freaking punches, man. He's always in range. He's constantly getting his foot positioning. You see Beterbiev. Look at him. Look. Watch. Boom. The way which is shy. He's not finding range perfect there. He's taking a step back. Boom. There's a right hand. Every time he's getting his foot placement to just get proper leverage on all that stuff. Boom. He just comes over at straight right hand. He's getting chopping around that. The guy's a sharpshooter, man. Joe Smith doing all right, bending his head there. Beterbiev sees it. He's like, "Hey, bro, you're getting around my chopping right hand. I better throw an uppercut right now." Boom, boom, and then he goes with the chopping right hand again. He's like, "Oh, dude, you're gonna die. This fight's over." The guy really is a super freak, people. Again, put your picks in the comment section. You tell me. Remember to hit that like button. We're getting the F out of here, people. I want to thank you all for joining me on this very special edition of Futv Sports. All right. All right, so we come to the end of another episode of The Real Futv Sports. And by The Real Futv Sports, I mean Futv Sports, people. It's effing awesome. It really is. We're going to watch the last exchange of the Joe Smith versus Beterbiev fight right now. Let's see this real quick. This is hilarious, people. Got to see this one last time. Here we go. The monster, the beast himself, people. The man that, there we go, boom, lifts his head, boom, lifts his head again, boom, goes around, chopping right hand. This guy was going to die in there, people. This was round 2. This man had been dropped multiple times for making the same dumb mistake. He actually said that he felt stronger than Beterbiev. Well, maybe he was, people. Maybe he was physically, like, muscular and all that, weight-wise. But he definitely wasn't not skill-wise and technique-wise and everything. This guy's a far superior boxer and puncher. And he's probably going to most likely school Bivol on Saturday. All right? You saw it. We're going to be getting out of here, people. Once again, we're going to be doing a live play-by-play of this Saturday on the real Futv TV. Remember to subscribe and hit that like button, people. All right? You guys got anything to add to this? Yeah, you want to curse me out? All right, we got a couple of comments here I'll read before we get out of here. We got the, it says, great show. I pick Beterbiev. All right. That's Sentient Flapjack. We have Evan Deer over here. Evan Deer over here, bro. He's got Beterbiev by KO 7 or 8th or 9th round. 7th or 9th round. I see that. I think I see it ending sooner than that. I feel like I told you guys in the stream when we were doing these breakdowns, this guy Bivol, many times he is defense first, and you cannot be. I said this in the last stream I did. You can't. He's got to get Beterbiev's respect, and you don't get respect being defense first. You don't. And so what's probably gonna end up happening is this guy's gonna he's gonna come at Bivol. Bivol's gonna be defense first. This guy's gonna get on top of him. He's gonna land one of these chopping right hands. And Bivol's going to become, most likely, he's not going to get tougher. He's going to become a runner. And he's going to throw some punches at Beterbiev. They're probably not going to have much of an effect. And Beterbiev's just going to piece him up and put him away. And that could happen very soon. That could happen just like Joe Smith in the first 2 rounds. I have Beterbiev winning this by knockout. Most likely. Or TKO. I think Bivol's going to know that he's going to feel the difference. And he's just going to lay down. He's probably going to be like, nah, bro, I can't. He might actually go out on his face. We never know. In order to win this fight, he's going to have to show that he has the cojones, But this guy, Roy Jones, wants to come out here and say that, oh, Beterbiev doesn't have it. He's not, he's been down. Yeah, but like the test of a champion, people, you get back up. And then he came back after getting knocked down in those fights. He beat the shit out of these guys and knocked them out, right? He put them away. He showed he can do that. He can take punishment and put guys away. Can Bivol do that? We'll see. I don't think he can. I think he's just going to get hurt. He's going to feel that power, and he's going to be running around. He's going to get hurt some more. And then he's going to, at some point, he's just going to like lay down or give up in his corner. Something like that. Or he'll be knocked straight out, and it'll be referee stoppage. All right, but I'm going to get out of here, people. See you later, people. See you later. Thanks for joining us. Till next time, this Saturday, I might play some of that Undisputed, and I'm going to reschedule this other video I had set for today. I'll probably do it tomorrow. It's in the gaming portion of this channel. All right, people. See you later.
Retro.
Matt Damon.
You're an idiot. An energetic idiot. Not an idiot. You're an idiot.
Lapse in concentration, and I'm aiming for the body, but I've just aimed too low. Beta! Beta!
Beta!
Matt Damon.
No, not beautiful.
You are beautiful.
What?
I was taking it all in.
Secondary question.
No Diddy.
What the fuck is this piece of shit? Matt Damon.
Beta! Beta! Beta!
Hey, I need to go to we have to piss. Tell me.
What the fuck did I do wrong?
You're a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. 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 You're a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter.
I just came out of a freaking war.
To be or not to be dope, that's the question. Are you gonna stop or keep on rushing? Farther, faster, quicker than the next man. To be the best is the master plan. Go on with all you got, give it your best shot. Don't ever think about trying to stop. Keep reaching, pushing, hoping for perfection. Make up your direction. Don't ever stop for a moment. Prove you want it. If you got it, go and get up on it. Go for yours, not for a minute, but all the time. You better do it 'cause I'm going for money.
And I asked my son, which car you want to drive today? Which car you want to go in? It was a car that I had been fixing for a little while. I haven't driven it in about 3 years. And I knew he was going to say that car, but I was a little skeptical to get in that car because I knew the type of attention that that car can bring. I got in anyway because I wanted to see the smile on my son's face. We're getting halfway to school. Next thing you know, I hear whoop whoop. I look in my rearview mirror
And what do I see? Not one, not two, but four officers behind me.